What if the one food you're eating every single day, without guilt, without suspicion, isn't just not helping your neuropathy? It's actually worsening it? And the worst part? Nobody's warning you about it. Not your doctor. Not the labels on your food. Not the commercials that parade it around as heart-healthy or wholesome. It hides in plain sight, camouflaged in everyday meals, masquerading as a staple, a comfort, a convenience. But inside your body, for some of you watching right now, that food is setting off a chain reaction, a biochemical spark that fans the flames of your nerve pain. Not a sharp explosion, no. It's more insidious than that. It builds gradually, day after day, bite after bite, a slow-burning fire that eventually becomes your new normal. But what if it didn't have to be? If you're here because you've been struggling with neuropathy, if you've felt like your body is screaming and no one's really listening, then I want you to lean in. Because by the end of this video, you'll understand the missing piece no one told you about, how it directly impacts your symptoms, and exactly what steps you can take to change your trajectory. Starting today. Let's begin. Neuropathy is more than a diagnosis, it's an experience. One that affects your day from the moment you open your eyes. Maybe it starts as tingling in your toes, or a strange numbness that never fully goes away. Maybe it's burning, prickling, hypersensitivity, like your skin is wired wrong. Some of you feel like you're walking on glass. Others say it's like insects crawling beneath the skin, and still others feel nothing at all. Just silence where sensation used to be. It's not just physical. It takes a toll emotionally too. When the people around you can't see your pain, it gets dismissed. You get told to just take your medication. You hear, it's just stress, or you're getting older. But here's a question no one seems to ask. What if the food on your plate was contributing to this pain? Now, we've all heard the usual warnings. Cut sugar, reduce alcohol, watch your sodium. And yes, these are valid. But today, I'm going to talk about something else. Something that hides inside nearly everything the average person eats. Something that's been flying under the radar, because most people associate it with bread, pastries, or diet fads, not nerve damage. And that something is gluten. Gluten is a structural protein. You'll find it in wheat, rye, and barley. It gives dough its stretch and chew. It makes croissants flaky, bagels firm, and pasta smooth. It's so integrated into the modern diet that removing it seems like removing air. It's just everywhere. But here's the truth that doesn't get enough attention. Gluten can trigger an immune response in some people, not just in the gut, but throughout the entire body. And in certain individuals, that immune response targets the nervous system. This isn't speculation. It's documented. Neurologists have been studying the effects of gluten on the peripheral nervous system for over a decade. In clinical research, patients with unexplained neuropathy were found to have antibodies that react to gluten, even when they showed no digestive symptoms, no bloating, no cramping, no diarrhea, just nerve damage. It's called non-celiac gluten sensitivity, and unlike celiac disease, which is widely recognized, this condition often goes undiagnosed, but its effects can be just as profound. When you ingest gluten and your body views it as a threat, the immune system creates antibodies to attack it. But sometimes, those antibodies cross-react. They don't just attack gluten, they attack your body, your nerves, the insulation around those nerves, the communication lines that allow your brain to talk to your limbs. Think of it like a phone line being frayed from within. The signal gets weaker, misfires, drops out entirely. And what you feel? Burning, numbness, hypersensitivity, weakness, a malfunction that you might mistake for aging or bad posture or genetics, but is actually being driven by inflammation, fueled by gluten. Now, not everyone with neuropathy is gluten sensitive. But here's the thing. Many are and don't know it. And the only way to find out isn't a simple test. It's an elimination. A conscious, consistent decision to remove gluten from your diet for a period of time and monitor what happens. I want to introduce you to a story that stayed with me. Michael, a retired engineer from Oregon, had neuropathy that progressed so rapidly. He went from playing tennis 3 days a week to needing a cane just to cross the kitchen. He'd tried Lyrica. He'd tried nerve blocks. He'd even tried acupuncture. Nothing helped. On a whim, suggested by a friend, not a doctor, he cut gluten from his meals. 10 days in, the pain in his calves eased. 2 weeks later, the tingling in his hands started to fade. Within a month, he was sleeping through the night for the first time in years. No new medication, no experimental treatment, just the removal of one ingredient. Now, let's talk practically. You might be thinking, gluten's in everything. What's left to eat? And honestly, that's a fair concern. But today's gluten-free world is not what it was 10 years ago. The shelves are stocked with options that don't taste like cardboard. In fact, many taste better than their gluten-packed counterparts. Instead of wheat bread, go for gluten-free multigrain made from rice flour or millet. Swap out regular pasta for lentil-based or chickpea-based noodles, high in protein, low in inflammation. Replace crackers with rice cakes, nuts, or sweet potato chips. Use tamari instead of soy sauce. Opt for oats that are certified gluten-free. Try almond flour pancakes or coconut flour muffins. Look for naturally gluten-free whole foods like eggs, avocados, leafy greens, berries, root vegetables, legumes, quinoa, and lean meats. And don't worry, you're not losing indulgence. You're gaining clarity. You're not restricting. You're experimenting with the goal of healing. Here's something else to consider. Inflammation doesn't act alone. Gluten might be the match, but it needs kindling. So while you're exploring gluten removal, consider layering in other supportive changes that help your nervous system recover and reset. Movement, for one, is essential. No, not high-impact cardio. I'm talking slow, intentional movement, gentle yoga, water walking, tai chi. These practices stimulate blood flow, lubricate joints, support lymphatic drainage, and keep your nerves from becoming stagnant. Next, think color. Your plate should look like a rainbow. Each pigment in fruits and vegetables corresponds to unique antioxidants and phytonutrients. Deep blues and purples from blueberries and eggplant. Bright reds and oranges from peppers and sweet potatoes. Lush greens from kale, spinach, and broccoli. These compounds help quench free radicals that contribute to nerve damage. Spices matter too. Turmeric, ginger, cinnamon. All have anti-inflammatory and neuroprotective benefits. You can add them to teas, smoothies, or savory dishes. Hydration plays a role you might not expect. When your body is dehydrated, your blood thickens slightly, slowing circulation. And poor circulation means fewer nutrients reaching the ends of your nerves. Sip throughout the day. Water, herbal teas, infused water with lemon or cucumber. Keep those cells supple and responsive. Then there's magnesium, one of the most underrated minerals in nerve health. It calms the nervous system, helps regulate electrical impulses, and supports muscle relaxation. You'll find it in almonds, pumpkin seeds, avocado, leafy greens, black beans, even dark chocolate. A square or two after dinner can be medicine, not just dessert. Don't forget your omega-3s, found in wild-caught salmon, flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts. These fats help rebuild nerve insulation and reduce inflammation systemically. They're the natural balm your nervous system craves. And finally, stress. This part isn't easy, because we can't just delete stress from our lives. But we can reframe it. Chronic stress increases cortisol, which promotes inflammation. It tightens muscles, restricts blood flow, and sensitizes pain receptors. You don't need to become a monk overnight, but a few minutes of quiet breathing each morning, a nightly journaling ritual, or even simple gratitude practice can shift your chemistry. You see, neuropathy isn't just about what's broken. It's about what's missing. Sometimes the body isn't malfunctioning. It's crying out for change. And what we interpret as disease is often just a message. Something isn't right. So what if gluten is that something? What if, just by removing it, by replacing a few ingredients, shifting a few habits, adding in nutrients that nourish and protect, you start to feel something new? Relief, ease, comfort, confidence. I'm not saying it's a miracle cure, but I am saying it's a place to begin. And often, that's the hardest part. Not the cutting back, not the avoiding, just the believing that healing is even possible, that your body hasn't given up on you, because it hasn't. So, take a deep breath. You're not stuck. You're not out of options. You're just beginning to learn what your body's been trying to tell you for years. Now I want to hear from you. Have you experimented with gluten-free living? Are you curious to try? Have you noticed patterns in your pain and your meals? Leave a comment below. Share your story. You never know who needs to read exactly what you've been through. And if you're ready to keep exploring, this channel is here for you. Subscribe, hit that bell, and join a community that believes in real solutions, practical healing, and never giving up. This isn't just about removing food. It's about reclaiming freedom. See you in the next one.